Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back again. Week 14. Here we go. We're getting close to playoff time. So, what we're going to do today for the college show, we're going to talk about the college football playoff rankings, IU getting snubbed, and then some other drama, and then we'll give our cards. And we're actually going to combine the shows this week all into one video. So, after we give our cards for the college show, we're going to roll right into talking about the NFL playoff hopefuls and our cards there. So, what do you guys think about last week? Any of the stories, honestly, from this past week? What are you guys' takes?
I don't know. I felt like it was kind of boring weekend for college football in terms of games and stuff. But what I know we're going to talk about the playoff rankings. What I don't get though is how is Iowa State ranked so fucking high and they lost to Lafayette, like Louisiana Lafayette, like either
Week one.
either like it just doesn't make any sense because it's
They have two losses too.
yeah they lost in the Big 12
Yeah, they're
once.
two lost
Yeah.
team.
Everyone
There's
in the
three. There's three two lost teams in like the top 11.
This is what's so stupid is every Big Ten team other than Ohio State is getting penalized.
You guys don't have to whisper.
Is getting penalized for not playing a lot of games. Like I honestly think if IU played the same amount of games, it'd be like 8 or 7. But since they're playing less games, like the committee said before the year, if teams don't play the same amount of games, they will get penalized for it. But it's only been every team but Ohio State that's gotten penalized for it. Like Ohio State has played one game in 3 weeks and they stayed at 4. IU's actually played every game and they stay at 12. Wisconsin, I mean, they were supposed to be good this year and they kind of stayed. Obviously, they suck, but like every team in the Big Ten is getting penalized but Ohio State, which is so fucking stupid. But I mean, what are you gonna do?
It's
I don't. Go ahead, Zach.
it's just a weird year because I mean Ohio State's played 5 games, like
Yeah,
and everyone else in the playoff right now has at least played 9 or 10.
it's like Chris Fowler, Reese Davis said. It was like, I get they probably are one of the 4 best teams. Like, I don't think anyone's going to debate that. But like, at what point do we just stop handing them everything? Like, you can't just you can't just continue to not play and then just be like, well, it is Ohio State. Like, you just can't continue to do that. Which, like, I honestly think it doesn't fucking matter. But also, like, everyone who's saying it doesn't matter, Ohio State would be in the Big Ten championship regardless. Dude, they have lost to an unranked team like 4 out of the last 5 years. It doesn't matter about the Big Ten championship game. This matters about the fucking playoffs.
Yeah.
So them not playing again is another win for them not to get beat. And like, who knows who's still hurt on their team? Like, they had 3 offensive linemen out. Are all those guys back this weekend or would have been? Who knows? Like, that's why, like I was saying the other day, like IU has to call out Ohio State and say, let's play this weekend. Obviously, that can't happen. IU has COVID problems, but like everyone knew Ohio State was getting into the Big Ten title game. So like the only way IU could do it is be like, hey, let's play again, and we beat you, we go. So I don't know. It's fucking. I think this also, like, I get it's a weird year, but like you kind of have to put to rest like Notre Dame needs to play a 13th game to make it. Like that's just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah, I agree. That was definitely a good point. I definitely saw someone make that point because it was pretty much like a fuck Ohio State fest on Twitter this week.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was definitely. What's up?
So there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, no one ever likes the teams that are consistently the top 4 or 5 teams in football for multiple years in a row. So Notre Dame gets the same hate, Alabama gets the same hate, Clemson gets the same hate. But especially with like how shifty the Big Ten is, like Ohio State, like rightfully so, gets a lot of hate, in my opinion. Maybe I'm a little biased on that because I'm an IU fan, but like if IU and Ohio State like swap spots, so say IU was 5-0, we had beaten Ohio State, and Ohio State was 6-1.
They would not change
like
the rules.
there's no fucking way.
No.
There's no fucking way they bend the rules to keep Ohio State out, right?
Hell no.
Ohio State's their money getter.
It's
Because honestly, I think the committee, in their eyes, with putting IU at 12, if IU would have beat Ohio State and then your scenario played out, I still think IU would have been at like 7. You know
Yeah,
what
they
I
wouldn't
mean?
even
right.
They wouldn't be at like 4. So like Big Ten would have been like, okay, IU probably is at, or Ohio State's probably at like 8. Like they don't probably drop that much because it's Ohio State. And it's like, okay, like,
Right.
fuck it. Do we want Ohio State in our Big Ten title game or IU? Yeah, we want Ohio State. And you know what? The committee probably gives them the benefit of it. Like it's so stupid. But to your question, like, no, they wouldn't change it in a million years if this was swapped. Not in a
Yeah.
million years.
And like another thing like I've been thinking about is if IU had beaten Ohio State and like played all their games except for this week, obviously the Oak and Bucket game gets canceled, but IU beats Northwestern, goes 8-0. I still think that the committee would try to pull in Texas A&M
Oh,
like
IU's not
over
getting
IU
in. Yeah,
for the
Yeah.
4th spot.
No, I agree.
I agree
Even
with
if
that.
IU would have gone 8-0, yeah.
I agree with that. But also to your point of like, would they have done this for IU? They've kind of already answered that question because when Wisconsin already qualified to not make it, they didn't change the rule at all. And I know
No.
Wisconsin was 2-1 at the time, but like it's like they played Northwestern the next week, they win that game, they're in first place. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
and you weren't going to change the rule. So like that, I think they already answered that question earlier in the year. Like, no, they
Yeah.
weren't fucking gonna change it. So
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know. And the thing is like a lot of people said, which I agree with, is like no one is mad that like we all know Ohio State's gonna go, but like why even make the rule in the first place? Like
Yeah.
why come out and say that?
They kind of they definitely fucked themselves over. I think they set that rule up in place assuming that like Ohio State might have like lost a flimsy game, and then the team they lost to maybe might have been 5-0, and they were 7-1 kind of thing, so that they could fuck over the team that beat them and make a the rep. But it kind of backfired. Definitely, they should have just not made the rule at all. I agree 100%.
I think people would have felt better if they would have just been like, honestly, we're just gonna wing it. We're gonna make the rules as we go. I think everyone would have been like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's what all the other conferences
Yeah.
decided to do too. So
Well, and
Yeah.
it was stupid because
The
if you
Big
got
Ten-
COVID, you were out 21 days. Like that was
21
stupid.
days.
Like that makes no sense.
yeah,
That's more than the CDC guidelines.
It's 11 more days than the new CDC guidelines. Like that makes zero sense. But like so here's my thing too though is like okay, let's say do you think if Florida beats Bama and Clemson beats Notre Dame, you think Ohio State's out?
they should
Yeah.
be.
Yes. Well, it depends on like if Clemson like thrashes Notre Dame, then I think Notre Dame's out. But if it's like a close game, then they're still
Yeah,
in.
if Notre Dame loses by like 28 plus, like they're definitely.
I think if
putting Ohio
Notre Dame
State in.
doesn't, if Notre
But
Dame
I
doesn't keep,
still don't think so because you have a team that's going to be 9-1 with two wins over top 25 teams, and they've played. That would be like their fourth. They would play like 4 more games in Ohio State. Like, how could you?
oh, I agree, but I can see the committee doing it. I think they're gonna if Notre Dame loses big, they're gonna hold it against them of what happened to them in 2018.
I think Ohio State. I think Notre Dame would have to lose by more than 30. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is say Notre Dame beats Clemson, and Bama beats Florida. So does that mean Ohio State jumps to 3 and Texas A&M gets in?
100%.
So we're gonna have
because you can't put in because a 2-loss Clemson team is gone, and you'd have a Texas A&M. Texas A&M sitting at 9-1. They're only lost to the number
Bama,
1, or I mean to Alabama.
And the only person who you could technically say to jump them would be Cincinnati, but Cincinnati didn't play and they dropped a spot. So now Cincinnati has absolutely zero chance. So yeah, like if that scenario happened, if Notre Dame beats, honestly, No, because then if they would both have to win, but if they both won, A&M would definitely move right in.
Is Clemson the only team that's making the playoffs every year? Or no, they didn't make it early on. They didn't make it early on.
They didn't make it the first year.
The past.
They didn't make it the first 2 years.
They didn't make it in 2014 or 2015.
Yeah, they didn't make it the first 2 years. That's right. Because Florida State.
Right.
Florida State didn't make it the second year. Clemson made it the second year.
They didn't make it the second year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they lost.
They did?
Yeah, they lost to Bama. Right?
Yeah, they made it.
Was Michigan State the first year or the second year?
The second year.
Second year.
Okay.
Because Florida State
Florida
State made it the first year and lost to Oregon, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they made it the second year because they beat.
That was the first national title where they lost to Bama, and then 16 they won it.
They beat the shit out of Ohio State.
Yep. 30. Yeah. And then first year they lost.
Or no, they beat Oklahoma that year, but yeah, they lost to Bama in the national title. So
and then
they didn't make it the first year, and then Bama's made it every year but last year.
Yeah. And Oklahoma's made it 5 times?
Well,
no, Alabama didn't make it my year of college. So the 2015-2016 season, I'm pretty sure.
They won it all.
Okay, maybe it was my sophomore year. I know because they got upset by they lost like the third or fourth game of their season and then didn't play in the SEC championship one of those years.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure
because I remember I was at a random mass house party and Alabama lost to like Ole Miss or some bullshit team.
So year 1 they were number 1. Year 2 they were number 2. Year 3 they were number 1. Year 4 they were number 4. Year 5 they were number 1. Did they make
the playoffs without playing the SEC championship?
Yeah. It was a year after Ohio State made it after not playing in the Big Ten.
That was the year then I was thinking of because they lost like the second or third game of their season, didn't play the SEC championship and got in.
Yeah, that was 2017, 2018. 2016, 2017, Ohio State didn't win theirs and made it. And then 2017, 2018, Alabama didn't win theirs and they made it. And then Ohio State, I'm pretty sure. No, never mind. They only made it once. But there has been including Notre Dame, there's been 3 teams not to play in a conference championship and make the playoffs.
Was Oregon the last Pac-12 team to make it?
No, Washington made it.
Oh, that's right. And they got smacked.
Yeah.
By Clemson.
Yeah, every year there's been every year since they formed the playoff system, like there's been one of the games in the opening round. I think there's only been 1 year where one of the matchups didn't end in like a 24 plus point victory for one of the teams.
Well, yeah. Well, Oklahoma, Georgia, remember that Baker game? That was a really good game. That was like the one good one. And then other than that, Alabama, Ohio State. It was a 7-point game, and Zeke had that run and then won by 14. But that was actually a pretty close game. But it was still ended up in double digits. Other than that, it's been like 20-plus points in every single semifinal game.
Florida State lost like 40-0 or something, didn't they, that one time?
No, it was actually
Michigan State got destroyed.
Florida State was actually like a 7-point game at halftime. They ended up getting beat by like 21, but it was like 42-21. It was like 28-21 at half, I think. But
obviously last year
they have been blowouts, which is kind of wild to think about. Like
LSU would have scored 100 last year.
It shows you how truly top-heavy college football is.
Well, that's why the argument of expanding to 8 is I get it. It'd be cool and there's more football, but in reality,
one versus 8 matchup, the 8 teams getting smacked.
Well, when you give these the best teams more time to prepare and do all that, are they really? Is it really going to be a football game?
Imagine if Bama played as of right now, the rankings were Bama versus Cincy. Bama would rape them.
Or last year it would have been LSU versus. Fucking Oregon was 6. Imagine if they played Oregon, they would have beat the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Or the year before that, Alabama versus Central Florida. It's pointless.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys want to do what we did last week and like give our personal like 1 through 8 rankings?
Yeah, we can do that and then give our cards.
Okay.
You can start, big guy.
All right. Alabama 1, Notre Dame 2, Clemson 3. See, it's the same thing as last week where there's no point in there's no point in dropping Ohio State quite yet. But I think Florida's a better team than Ohio State this year. So, but it doesn't matter unless Florida beats Alabama in the SEC championship anyway.
Okay, in reality though,
so I guess
Nagy, just before you finish, because I just thought of this though. Really, what has Clemson done? Well, okay, with Miami being ranked 10th, that like really helps Clemson. Honestly, like it really helps Clemson a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like if you look at like resumes though, like A&M, they lost to the number 1 team. Clemson lost to the number 2 team. A&M beat the number.
Play North Carolina.
No.
Okay.
No.
A&M beat the number 6 team. Clemson beat the number 10 team. A&M beat the number 25 team. Clemson. That's it. So it's like a little. It's only a little bit, but like A&M has a better resume than Clemson. But it's like when it's that slim, you're obviously going to give it to Clemson. But okay, finish. So you have Ohio State at 4. You're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's just and then I guess between if Florida and A&M played like tonight on a neutral site, like I would definitely take Florida. But it's kind of the same. It's the same thing where like it really doesn't matter like this spot because Florida is going to have a chance. Like their destiny is still in their own hands. But I guess like just for the sake of the conversation, I would still say Florida 5, A&M 6, because if Ohio State isn't really taken seriously by the committee and Florida loses, then A&M would get the 4th spot anyways. And then I guess 7. I guess probably Cincinnati. And then 8. I might put probably damn near Miami.
They have a big game.
I know they like they've like Miami's had some close games this year against like teams that aren't still ranked, but like they got a good clutch factor to them that would like
if they can
definitely
beat
make
Carolina,
them like
if they can beat North Carolina, it kind of solidifies like in a normal year they're probably not number 10, but it's like okay, they just went 9-1 though. They beat
with the one loss Clemson.
Yeah, they beat every team.
Like they would probably play in a New Year's Eve bowl. Like
if they win this weekend, they're a lock. They're a lock. They're in the top 12. They're a lock, or the top 10.
Yeah, and like in a normal year even. I think so.
Notre Dame's not.
All right, so those are my top 8.
All right, I'll go. I got Bama, Notre Dame, Clemson, A&M at 5 or 4, Florida at 5, Ohio State at 6, Cincinnati at 7, and Coastal Carolina at 8.
That's the exact same 8.
Coastal Carolina's 10-0.
That's exactly.
See that was the one I was.
Anyone,
I was
anywhere, anytime. And honestly, I would probably have Miami at 9, and then I would have IU at 10.
Yep.
And then I would have Iowa State at 11 and Oklahoma at 12.
I have the same top 8 as Mike.
That's what I was going to point out when we were on the Ohio State conversation is that like it's hard for the committee to still give like IU a fair shake in the rankings after losing Michael Penix. So
to be fair though, they did go on the road and still beat Wisconsin.
Yeah, but they beat them because they're
No, I agree. But like that's the lowest amount of points the offense has scored all year.
No, I agree. It's like they beat them because their defense played out of its mind. They didn't win because the defense, their quarterback played well.
IU undoubtedly has the best pass defense in the Big Ten this year, and their rush defense is very close to being as
Well,
good as
they're so
Ohio
good
State.
because they make people turn the ball over too.
It would have been nice if like every time they hit Fields, they sacked them against Ohio State. They would have had like 12 sacks, but
Yeah, it's a lot of missed tackles. They got to wrap up a little better. But he was elusive. He played really well from the back that game.
yeah. So I think it'll be really. There's not really many good games on this weekend to do anything. So like, does the committee just stay put? But also, okay, this is my
Probably.
last thing before we get into our cards. What's wild is like IU, yeah, they deserve to go to the Big Ten, but like they have a COVID outbreak right now. Like, could they even play?
Who has a COVID outbreak?
IU does.
Oh, they do.
So they never said which school was the one having
No,
COVID
It
problems.
was both. Purdue had it at first.
They said it was a mutual. They said it was a mutual agreement, but no schools ever like explicitly said like how many staff members or how many players were having problems.
They both had it. Like Purdue had it, and then later that night, IU was going to cancel practice the next day. So I mean, they maybe could have played, but like instead of trying, they both were just like, all right, screw it. Well, let's just cancel the game. But like they both teams have cases. It's like who knows who?
Right.
Like what if IU is like all 4 DBs are on the cases, but no one else? It's like it's a huge fucking loss in a Big Ten title game. But that'll be interesting if they like. What if they can't play next week? Also, Jeff Brom, they're gonna go the regular season. So first off, he's a fucking horrible coach. Secondly, they're gonna go the regular season. I think they're 2-4 or 2-5.
Sorry.
Within 2-5 with an asterisk.
But every game he coached in, they lost. Both times they won,
He had
he had
COVID.
COVID, so he couldn't coach. So he's 0-4 this year, and the team is 2-0 without him. And in his previous 2 years, he is 4-12, and he gets paid. He's making over $1 million per win over the last 2 years. He makes $5.5 million. He has 4 wins.
That's good finessing, if you ask me.
Like Jesus Christ! And I bet if you look at the games, he's like he looks allergic if they rush the ball.
I hear you.
He has a breakout. And but all right.
Oh, real quick before we get to our cards, we actually have a new channel of a podcast coming out soon. We got their new Twitter up and everything that will be describing different topics they'll be talking about in their podcast. So check it out. It's called No Bullshit, No Cap on Twitter, same handle and everything. So throw it a follow. Looking for more podcast content to listen to. And yeah, let's get into the cards.
All right. I'll go first. I have the games on right now, looking like a fucking horrendous bet. Florida Atlantic under. They've gone under like their previous 6 games, and now I guess they want to score points. Under 43.5. I have San Jose State minus 2.5. I have Illinois Northwestern over 40. I have Colorado minus 2.5. Louisville minus 1.5. Miami minus 3. Florida State minus 5. Don't really love that pick. I mean, I bet they lose because their coach is a fucking retard. But USC minus 2.5. Vatech minus 2.5. Wisconsin at Iowa money line minus 122. If you got it earlier in the week, you probably got plus money. And then my do or die this week are the fucking Cardinals.
Save it.
From Muncie. Oh yeah, fuck me. You're right.
Oh, go fuck it.
Ball State playing Western Michigan at home. Winner goes to the MAC championship. Western literally could have just won last week, and they probably would have been fine. They lost at home to Eastern fucking Michigan. Ball State's gonna roll, and the Cardinals are gonna party in Muncie. 10 units.
Sure. 10 units. All right. And then I have a very short college card this week. We're recording this on Thursday, so we all submitted these like before any of the games started or anything like on our Twitter. So
they all were tweeted, so you can't say you're lying.
You guys are liars.
So in case anybody's not following yet, at Victory Sports Bets I think that's what it is.
Victory
But
lap bet,
DeGen
but-
Central. Just look that up. Yeah, I got a short card. I got Georgia and Missouri. Georgia, Missouri over 53.5. I got Iowa +1. I'm trying to remember who they play.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, fuck Wisconsin. And then Minnesota money line. They're playing Nebraska, who barely held on against Purdue last week and is still dog shit this year. I think Minnesota needs a nice little end of the season. Hey, we're not dog shit. Let's play our hearts out game. So
But they are
you
dog
can get
shit.
Minnesota money line right now at +285. Great value. And then my do or die is going to also be Minnesota, but the spread. They're getting 11 points. So Minnesota +11, 5-unit play. Let's end the regular season on a good note for these cards. And then if you want to hear Alina's card, it's on our Twitter as well. So make sure you check that out if you want to hear Alina's. He's got the hot hand. He's up almost 60 units on the season. So if you want to, if you want to tail the king of college picks, then make sure you give our Twitter a check. So that being said,
Zach,
nothing else about college.
Zach, do you have a card? Zach, you have a card, right?
Yeah, I have a small
Zach,
card.
do you want?
Yeah. No,
There you go. My bad, dog. I told
he's
you.
in on
My
this
bad.
week. He's not in for the full
Siento.
season standings, but he's given a card.
I took him earlier this week.
You could beat Michael.
I can take the current lines, or I'll just take whatever I already have. But earlier in the week, I already took BYU -16.5. I think it's up to 17 now against San Diego State. I got Ball State -2, Georgia -12.5. I got Bama at 31, but I think that's gone up now. If I were to do a do or die, it'd be Bama versus Arkansas at -31. Oklahoma State at -6, Coastal Carolina at -12.5, and Florida State at -4.5.
How many units?
See,
How
what's
many units
bullshit?
confident are you on Alabama?
Give me 7.
See what's bullshit,
Jesus.
Zach, is
All right.
Nagy is in second place in college football. So then he fucking comes out with this teeny weeny beanie little fucking card of like 2 plays.
Shut up.
so he
Okay,
can't
you know what,
fucking
bitch?
lose.
All right,
So he can't
Minnesota
lose.
+11, 10 units. I'll make it 10. Fuck it.
All right.
How the
Well,
hell are they getting 11 points versus Nebraska?
Minnesota's
I don't know.
horrendous.
You're right.
I mean,
right.
Nebraska's
My card
pretty
was
bad, too.
very this
Yeah,
week,
but the past 2 weeks though, they've actually looked like a football team though. Like they haven't played good teams.
I will agree, Michael. That is a good point. I wasn't trying to snim you and hold on to second place, but I really don't like I don't really like the college card this week.
We got a long bowl season to go. Long bowl season.
All right, fuck it. Then I'll make
one more
it
play.
7.
The
I
over
already
in LSU,
tweeted. I'll
Florida.
keep it at 5 units. Fuck it.
All right. Over under of what?
Over of LSU, Florida.
What is it now?
68.
Oh, I was gonna say I'd take the over even if it was like 77.
There's gonna be so many
All right.
points.
All right, NFL talk.
NFL time.
All right, I'm gonna start. Fucking Steelers, you fucking pieces of shit. You play the fucking Washington Redskins at home, and
He's talking about last week.
Yeah, no, fuck the Steelers.
you fucking you can't score from the 1 yard line. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It's the fucking Washington football team. That was a joke. But Big Ben, dude, fucking smiling and laughing after the game. You fucking rapist. Get your ass back in the locker room.
Hey,
Fucking
there wasn't
prepare-
enough cum, okay? He got
Prepare
off.
for fucking next week, dude. You just lost home field advantage in the fucking playoffs. You think the Steelers are going to win the rest of their fucking games? No chance. They needed that game because the only way was they'd go 15-1. They had a better record in conference. So that was fucking stupid. I mean, I was just watching that game. Like, also, their receivers, get the fuck off TikTok and go catch 500 balls a game. Not just Juju, Chase, like all of them. They dropped.
Did they throw 54 times that game?
Probably, and they probably had 30 drops. They dropped so many balls. Deontay Johnson, all of them dropped. James Washington, Juju, they all dropped so many fucking balls. And their defense, I mean, they just can't stay healthy. Every fucking week, someone gets injured. And now Vince Williams is on the COVID list. Like, I don't know, man. And they play the Bills, the Bills are looking very good right now. Like,
Yeah, they just toasted the 49ers.
That's going to be a tough fucking game. And, they lose.
That's going to be a great game.
They lose that. They probably lose to. Luckily, they have like 2 really shitty games, but then end of the year at Cleveland, like they probably lose there. So like they'll be what 13-3. It's gonna get you second place. The Chiefs like may lose one more game, maybe. I would.
Their offense is it's insane how good it is. The
Like,
Chiefs.
So fucking Steelers, man, and for the first time in a while, like ever, I think Mike Tomlin's a great coach. Just like when he talks, sometimes like his analogies are like the weirdest analogies ever. Like he says the weirdest things ever.
Like what he said to Chase Young.
No, I agree with that. He said, "I never want to lose so many games to where we draft you." I agree with
That's such a line to say to a guy before a game.
that's an awesome line. That's like I never want to be coaching a horrible team. I'll just quit that. Like that's an awesome line. But it's like, hey, dude, you're almost that bad last year. But fucking Steelers, man. I mean, not shocking. Like the past 4 weeks, they kind of have been like
scraping by.
Yeah, like you thought they were
could lost to the Ravens.
The Ravens with the third string quarterback, the Cowboys at Dallas that 1 week. Like they've been every time they play a bad team,
they just play to the level of their competition. It's really
really
weird.
do.
But you know what? I do think it's like a good like wake up call because like you've seen in the past like teams that are like undefeated. Like there's only been one undefeated team ever to go through the regular season and the playoffs ever.
Yeah.
So like sometimes it's good, especially now with like how much ego there is in professional athletes. I think a loss is definitely beneficial. Even if you lose the bye week, you guys are probably like the Steelers are probably going to end up playing either like the Patriots if they can somehow beat the who they play tonight, the Rams, and then they pretty much need to win out or lose one game and go 9-7. So you might play the Patriots, you might play the Dolphins.
Oh, the Pats are not. The Pats are not getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, you'll probably either play the Dolphins or the Raiders.
The AFC, you're gonna have to win minimum 10 games to make the playoffs.
Right. So I'm saying like even like not getting the bye is not the end of the world when you're playing.
It's not. No, I agree with that. But I do think for Pittsburgh, like the comfortability, you don't want to go to Arrowhead Stadium. You know what I mean? Like you just like Patrick Mahomes is so comfortable in that stadium. Like even though there's no fans, there's a little bit. I don't know, like I don't know how many, but just that comfortability of Mahomes at home, I feel like goes a long way. And but I agree with you though, it's not the end of the world because like you give me Miami in the playoffs, like you give the Steelers actual playoff reps against Tua, sign me the fuck up for that. Like
oh god, that defense will.
You give me you said the Pats, you give me Cam Newton in the like they will rip Cam Newton's head off.
Or the Raiders.
Or the Raiders, they will rip Dick Carr's head off. Like those 3 teams, I would take in a million years because they would make those quarterbacks get so frustrated. And like obviously, like the only team is like you don't want to play. Obviously, is the Chiefs, but it's like you're gonna have to play them if you want to beat.
Right, but like that's the other good thing I think about. Like obviously, we just talked about ego a little bit. Some of these players like they can use that first like the wild card round to kind of get like some of their like playoff jitters out of the way, like maybe make a few mistakes and still win a game because their team is very well rostered.
Losing.
Oh, the good thing is even having to play at Arrowhead Stadium, like at least it'll be like a weather environment where Big Ben and like the Steelers are used to playing in. It'll be cold,
True.
It might be snowy, might be windy, and they're used to that in Pittsburgh. So I mean, that's not like obviously the Chiefs are scary, but like the stadium and the environment shouldn't be too bad.
For sure. But it also like 2 things. Bud Dupree not being like tearing his ACL out for the year, like that definitely showed. And if like their defense didn't play bad by any means, but like he's
hurts.
Insane pass rusher, so that definitely there's a few times where it's like he can now double TJ Watt. And then like Pouncey, like they clearly need him back in at center. He was on the COVID list. He'll be playing this Sunday. But like that 1 yard line, like I guarantee you Pouncey's in, they score. Also, they had like 6 snaps that were horrendous that like if Pouncey's maybe the best center in football, like you have him in there, you're fine. So I mean the Steelers are gonna be fine.
Yeah, I think that's you guys are still in a good position to like get those guys rested up come playoff time
I
and
do
still keep
agree.
the 2 seed.
There were a few people who actually came out after the game and was like, honestly, like we easily should have won this game, but it was a wake up call. And like it's a long season. And think of COVID, like it might not be a bad thing to lose that game against Washington and then being like, yo, okay, let's wake back up and play the rest of the year. We only have 5 games left in the playoffs. So it may
Yep.
not be the worst thing, but um I don't know. Hopefully their defense is fine. And like I said, getting Pouncey back will be big. I think they'll be fine against the Bills. I
All
don't
right,
know. Honestly, the game I would think they're going to lose is the Browns. Like that's the game I think they'll lose.
or the Bills.
No, I think they'll beat the Bills. I think they have a better chance of losing to the Browns than the Bills. It
All
depends how
right.
Big Ben plays. Though. If Big Ben plays,
Are you guys at home against one of those teams or
no. They already beat the fuck out of the Browns at home. They play at
also
Cleveland.
both of those are road games? Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll probably a good chance you lose at least one then.
and the Browns is the last game of the year. So if the Steelers have the 2 seed and they
They
know
could
they can't
sit.
get the 1, they might sit everyone.
Yeah, that's a good point. Um, I know we usually spend a good 10 to 15 minutes shitting on the Bears, and we got Zach this week, who's also a fellow Bears fan. So let's just do like a quick little 3-4 minute synopsis of. So Zach, we we're down to tank, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, just making sure we're on the same
Yeah.
page.
Absolutely.
One
Okay.
question, and then I won't talk anymore because this is your turn time. But like, I mean, you got a clean house, right? Like, absolutely clean house. I mean, from top to bottom, literally.
Yeah. No, Ryan, like the Bears never fire midseason, but like if Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy are back next year, this team is they're fucked again. Like
Yeah,
they're fucked.
I definitely agree. This team needs a decent offensive draft, but I will also throw this out there. I am very happy and content with how Mitchell Trubisky has played the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you're not going to bring him back because you're already bringing back Foles.
I would say that fucking blows. That's on Ryan Pace. Get
Yeah.
Ryan Pace the fuck out of Chicago. But
you
if
literally have
if
to
the
pay
Bears
Foles, like 27 if you cut him, you pay him like 17 if he comes back.
Like they have to bring back Foles. You're not going to take that cap hit for one season.
right, but I mean I don't necessarily. It'll be interesting to see where the Bears end up in the draft order, but I don't necessarily think, depending on where we end up, like a first round quarterback is like a must make move right now.
See, I think it is because I think there's like a negative % chance that Mitch comes back.
I saw this,
but like
Bears
that's the
mock
thing. Like
draft.
how cheap would Mitch be off of the 5th-year option? Like I don't.
Well, they already
They declined it, and I also think Mitch.
No. I'm saying without the 5th-year option, like how viable of a find.
I think he could go a lot of different places and like get actually decent money / like start over, which is what I think he 100% wants to do.
I think he wants to get out of Chicago too.
Also, if you want to go off of that, like if Nagy comes back, kiss Mitch goodbye. There's absolutely -% chance Mitch comes back if Nagy's back.
Yeah, I think that's a great point because it'll be interesting to see what kind of guy that the Bears are going to hire at GM, because if they kind of understand and like kind of vibe with the offense he wants to run, which who the fuck knows at this point, but if they have a meeting after they hire a new GM and they like Matt Nagy, then this offense, like this draft could be like full offensive rebuild.
The thing is too, you can still you can draft a quarterback in that first round, but if they don't start drafting linemen, like they're still gonna fucking suck.
Yeah.
That's why I was alluding to.
Joke.
That's why I was alluding to. Like if we don't draft, like we don't have to draft a quarterback necessarily because of our positioning, and we could take possibly the number 1 or number 2 overall offensive linemen in the draft.
But then you're openly saying we're going to tank next year. Like, you have to tank next year then, because then you have to get a
You
quarterback.
have to tank for the
No,
quarterback.
I don't think so because I think
Dude, so what? You're going to have Foles and then just stay literally at the mid-level, which is the worst possible spot to
no.
get awards?
I'm saying like second round. That's a quarterback,
But
right?
who are you
there.
going to
But he's
get in the
not gonna
second round that's like good?
But he's not going to also
There's
start
rumors that
for-
Kyle Trask is going to drop to the second round.
But he's not going to start for 3 years. Second round quarterbacks don't start like why do you think Jordan? I mean, he wasn't second round, but Jordan Love.
Well, if we have to hold on to Nick Foles, then I mean he can be right behind Nick Foles after we lose Trubisky.
Yeah, so you were literally opening to tanking next year too, is what I'm. And
If Nick Foles
then
has
you
a better O line, then he will have more time to pass, and we might be able to still make the playoffs next year.
Nick Foles sucks. Like, come on.
He can't move. I think he's
Pagano also killed that defense. That defense is dead.
Yeah. All right. Well, I agree. What the fuck is Chuck up to the past 2 weeks on defense? This is weird, but that's about all I have left to say about the Bears right now. Besides,
I think it's more too. The defense is just probably sick of it too.
I really don't want the Bears to go 8-8. That'd be like worst case scenario. Just
What are they right now?
They're
5-7.
5-7. So if they win every game and then lose to the Packers to finish the season.
Yeah, but they're not beating Minnesota, and Minnesota who's fighting for a playoff spot.
I'm just saying the worst case scenario would be to go.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. No, I agree with you.
Or I'm just gonna keep that out there because I'm a Bears fan. But what if they win all these games and then the Packers are stuck at the 2 seed and say, you know what, we're just not gonna play anybody because we want to play the Bears first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, well, that means the Bears would also have to beat other teams, which they haven't been able to do in a year. So
I understand that, but I'm just saying, I gotta say that as a Bears fan, bro. I gotta say
playing
They're
the Lions.
they're in the hunt. They're in the hunt.
The Lions are so bad, and they how they lost that game was just comical.
All right, let's not talk about that game. Let's get to the cards.
I bet on them, and I was just sitting there like I can't. I'm not even mad. I'm just like, okay, like yeah. I mean, I kind of expected this to happen. Like, this is disgusting, but okay.
Cool. Yeah, if Mitch is gone next year, I wish him nothing but the best. He's looked pretty solid outside of that first interception he had against the Packers. But everything else, I really like what I'm seeing.
And that fumble against the Lions that cost them the game. But
running back.
Nagy's convinced they told him to fumble it.
I mean, how can you not blame him on that though? Like, you got rid of the ball. That's the only thing.
It might have been a tank move. It might have been a full blown tank move.
There were so many better ways to tank than that.
There was a crossing route right across the middle, so open.
Mitch is also fighting for his next job. You think he's just like, yeah, sick. I'm gonna fumble for a tank on a team I'm not gonna be on.
Probably not. All right, let's get to the cards real quick.
Okay. Jesus.
All right, I'll go first. I got the Buccaneers, Vikings over 51. Giants, who they play?
Cardinals.
Yeah, Giants, Cardinals under 45. Cowboys and whoever the fuck they play. Bengals over 42.5. No defense at all. And then I got my on your knees, pray to God underdog parlay of the week. And I got all of the podcast boys teams money line. We got Bears money line, Raiders money line, Chargers money line, Steelers money line, plus the Browns are going to beat the fuck out of the Ravens. So 1 unit play on the underdog parlay pays plus 4,825. So
dude, I really like that except for the
unit
Bears.
Possible return.
That's actually a really good parlay except for the Bears. But
thanks, buddy.
All right. The DOD.
It is a really good parlay. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, next person. And then I have my do or die, which is a big one.
You literally might go 4-1 on that parlay.
I might, but it's okay.
Because you fucking have Mitch Trubisky as your goddamn quarterback and Matt Nagy.
Hey, we're done talking about that. Okay.
It's hilarious that you think a very good game is throwing for 200 yards, fumbling 7 times, and then rushing for 30 and losing to the Lions.
What? All right. Go.
All right, so I have the Steelers money line plus 125, Cardinals minus 1.5. Feel like they're due for a win. Oh fuck, my phone just died.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, can you please?
Yeah, I'll just hop on Twitter real quick. Unless you pull it up before me.
Yeah, I got it right here actually.
All right, go ahead.
Steelers money line, Cardinals minus 1.5, Cowboys minus 3.5, Texans or wait, I put that in twice. Raiders money line, Chargers money line, Ravens minus 1, and then my DOD. Just to let you
All
know,
right.
you put my DOD in twice, just so you know. So
Oh, I accidentally put it like in the card and
I think
then
that's how I no you put it in my card and the DOD. I think that's how I texted it though. So.
Right. Okay. What about you, Zach? What do you like this week?
So my plays for this week are the Titans minus 7.5. I hate that hook, but we're gonna stick with it.
Who do they play?
Jaguars.
If they drop to 6.5, throw the house.
I also like the Chiefs minus 7 versus the Dolphins. It's in Miami, but I still like that.
They'll win by 4, like they have the past month.
Yeah, I could see that too.
I'm gonna take Giants money line versus the Cards.
Love it.
And
Danny
then
Dimes
also,
is supposed to play now, by the way.
yep. Colts
No.
minus 3 at the Raiders.
Gross.
And then I don't know why I'm taking this, but I'm just gonna take it. The Jets plus 13.5 because it's so many points.
Who are they
It
playing?
is a lot.
The
They play Seattle.
Seahawks. It's in Seattle, so like I think Seattle's gonna try to just want to murder them, but I'm gonna stick with the
If
Jets.
Seattle didn't lose
lot of
last
points.
weekend, I would say it's a good bet. But I think Seattle might win by 30. But then again, if they play like they did last weekend, who fucking knows?
Right.
And then I'm also gonna take, if Drew Brees is out, I'm taking the Eagles plus 7 against the Saints.
Nice. What do you like the most about all, like which would be your do or die bet in all those picks?
My do or die is going to be Chiefs minus 7.
Isn't it crazy?
Oh, okay.
Isn't it crazy that the tiebreaker for the Titans Colts right now is the Colts lost to the Jaguars?
The Colts, yeah, the Jags for only one of the year.
Like the fucking
And also Gardner Minshew played like the game of his life.
Yeah, fuck around, get fucked. Fuck the Colts. Sorry,
Yeah.
Parker.
I agree with you on that though.
And then my do or die is going to be actually, I know I have the Raiders as part of my underneath pretty god underdog parlay of the week, but I was hedging my do or die because my do or die is actually going to be the Colts minus 3 for
What? You're basically asking for one of your plays to lose.
well,
either the do or die or either the underdog pretty
his
god.
other play is all underdogs, so that hasn't won yet. So he already
The
knows
Colts.
that's gonna win.
I've taken the Colts the past 2 weeks as my do or die, and they have not led me astray. And the Raiders are fucking struggling
They
right
literally
now.
got beat by 50 to the Titans 2 weeks ago.
Or not 2 weeks, but like this will be 2 weeks. And I had them early. I had
You
them
won
early.
1 week.
No. I had them. When they. I had them. I don't know how many weeks ago it was.
Beat the Packers.
I can't remember.
But
I've taken they've been 2 do or die winners for me this year, and it's not a lot of do or die winners for Nagy, so I might as well take the Colts.
yeah, you're down like 60.
Yeah,
Positive though. You were positive last week. So, my do or die is the Texans minus 1. It's gonna be for a Bears fan. It's got to be just so annoying because like both teams suck. So it's just like who fucking cares? But all they're gonna bring up is like how they should have drafted Watson. It's like yeah, but
the whole time. Yep.
But they're also 4-8. So like,
Who wants to tank Carter in this game?
Yeah, but I got the Texans just because like if Deshaun Watson plays, I don't think the Texans are tanking. Like you know what I mean? Like
oh yeah, they would just throw in the backup, save their franchise quarterback.
they also don't have a first round draft pick next year, so what could they tank for? And then also Olena's on a 2-week losing streak for DODs, so if he loses this weekend.
What did he take?
He took a fuking money
Oh
line
yeah,
parlay
he
again.
he did 3 teams money lines, big favorites. I think he did Seattle,
Green Bay,
it
and it might have been the Chiefs. I was just about to say. I think it might have been the Chiefs.
it's like minus 115 on a
nope.
3 team.
Green Bay, Tennessee, Seattle, All money lines minus 115.
10 units.
10 units.
Yep.
I would like everyone to know I'm the only person who is positive on the year.
Plus 0.75 same.
Minus 66.15.
I wasn't making fun of it, bitch. I was just saying what it was. Motherfucker.
Yeah,
Everyone
right.
knows I'm terrible.
Nagy, if someone followed your picks all season, I feel terrible for their bank.
Nagy, aren't you positive your past 2 weeks though?
Yeah, past 2 weeks I've won, and no. 2 weeks ago I lost 9.
Oh.
Why aren't you sharing your five teamer same game parlays with this?
I really should, bro. Like, it's crazy. I'm winning money on NFL this year on just like random
That
live
shit,
bets and
yeah.
everything. So, like, in real life, I'm probably up like probably anywhere between $1,200 and $1,500 on NFL this year.
And then you're just having your podcast listeners down 66 units.
Yeah, because I mean it's too confusing to try to throw
the
props
fans.
and stuff in the pod. I don't really want to do that.
Fuck our viewers.
If they've been telling me though since I've started poorly, they're probably up like 30 or 40 units.
A fuck ton of units, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's true.
I'm handing them winners by giving them the losers.
Watch someone started off going behind you, then was like did it all year. Then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna start going against him. And then it's the week that you start going positive and you just go positive the rest of the year. Like he just is losing on every way each fucking time he bets. That'd be hilarious. But
I mean, hey, to each his own. That'd be so fuck them.
All class. All right. We'll see everyone next week. Alina will be back. So
thanks again to Zach for stepping in.
Yep. Appreciate it, Zach. Everything's already tweeted. Zach, text your picks to Nagy. He'll tweet them. He's not part of the season, but so people can see his votes. So, yep. All right. We'll see everyone next week.
Bear down, fuckers.
Circle the wagons.
Peace.